Hey guys, so the next thing we're going to go ahead and do is code. So to start, we're going to click on our event tab and we're going to add when green flag clicked. After that, we're going to go ahead and go into control and add a forever. Inside of the forever, we're going to go into looks and add a go forward 1. We're changing forward to backward and we're changing the 1 to 100. This is just to make sure that our things aren't covering anything that we need in order to see the game and play it. So the next thing we're going to go ahead and do is underneath that, still inside of looks, we're going to add a hide. And then inside of control, we're going to scroll towards the bottom and add a create clone of myself. After that, we're going to go ahead and add a when I start as a clone. We're going to go ahead and go into looks and add a switch costume to. Since we have multiple of them, we're going to go ahead and add a pick random from 1 to 10. And we're just going to change the 10 to the amount of costumes that we have. So I have 5 for right now. So we're going to go ahead and make this a 5. If you guys have more or less, this is where you'll be changing that number. After that, we're going to go back into looks and we're going to add a show. Then we're going to go inside of the blue motions tab and add a go to. The X, we're going to add a pick random. And we're changing this to 240 to negative 240. Okay. And the Y we're going to change to 180. Okay. After that, we're going to go into control and add a repeat until. Instead of the diamond shape, we're going to go into operators, add an and on the right hand side, we're going to add a less than. So we're checking to see when we're stopping it, and we want to stop it when it's touching the edge, and it's also a little bit below the edge just so that it hides it, and that's when we know to delete it. So we're going to go into sensing. We're going to add touching mouse pointer, and we're changing this to edge. And then we're checking to see what our Y position is. So we're going to go inside the motions tab, add that blue Y position bubble, and we're changing this to negative 175. So if it's not, then we want to make sure that it's moving. So we're going to change Y by negative 10. And then underneath everything, we're just going to go ahead and add a delete this clone all the way at the bottom. So if you guys remember, the size of our leaves or whatever we decided to make would probably be a little bit too big. So I can go ahead and test this out by clicking my green flag. So since it's a little bit too big, I'm going to go ahead and go into looks, and right on top of the switch costume, I'm going to add a set size to. I'm going to go ahead and change this. I'll try 30. So that's about a good size, maybe 25. So about there is fine, and I like that size. So it's not too big where it's covering everything that we did for our background, but it's also not too small that you don't know what it is. If you guys want to even make this a little bit further, make it more fun, what you can do is you can actually disconnect this set size to 25, move it inside of the forever. You can add a pick random and choose between what 2 sizes and anything in between you want to make it to. And then what's going to happen is instead of them all being the same size, they're all going to be different sizes on top of also showing different versions of it. So that's another thing you guys can do in order to make your game even more fun.